this is the very beginning of what we should have done 20 years ago. And I'm excited that you're all here. You are the solution to this big gap in trades that we have right now and what we're all facing. I mean, if you want to build a new house, you're going to wait 2 years because we just don't have enough people.
That's Andy Moyle, President in Property Development at Moyle Construction. Industries today are facing urgent challenges. The demand for skilled professionals prepared with skills meeting the rapid evolution of technologies in really critical fields. Construction, automotive, medical work, manufacturing, healthcare, all facing drastic hiring needs. Career technical education becomes the linchpin by providing targeted training that directly addresses these needs. It's about ensuring that our workforce is not just educated, but is ready to contribute. In January, school representatives and industry leaders met at the CTE offices in Hancock to discuss how education and businesses can work together to rise to the challenge and meet these needs. I'm David Sim. You're listening to the Coppercast, presented by the Copper Country Intermediate School District. The CTE Summit in January provided an excellent backdrop of highlighting employer hiring needs across the career spectrum, locally and nationally, and provided student examples of success. In every industry, demand is urgent, and we'll learn more about those solutions shortly, but it's important to understand where the pressures are coming from and how we're getting there. In construction, labor shortages are pushing build times into months and years, not weeks. For a manufacturing company like Calumet Electronics located in Calumet, it's about having a workforce that can problem solve and while building cutting edge technologies. Here's Calumet Electronics VP, Chief Operating Officer, Todd Broussard.
What we need more today than anything out of our young people is people that can build things, make things, put it together, wire it up, mill it, cut it, etch it, measure it, get the tolerances right. The things that we are being asked to build right now are incredibly complex, and we are pulling our hair out, and we are good at what we do. Calumet Electronics is a 50-year-old company, and we spent most of our time making industrial controls. But what we're being asked to make today by the Department of Defense is things for millimeter wave radar systems in these platforms that can work on anything, right? The very latest technologies that are going on the sides of aircrafts that can see in any direction. So the United States, we have some challenges, and the thing that we need to do is we need to bring up a generation of people. The DoD went and asked the other countries and said, what happened to America? Why did we lose our ability to fabricate? And they got this common answer back. You lost the people that knew how to tool. You've lost those people that had the skill set, that when you say, I need this, that they can figure out how to build that. And that's one of the things that needs to change. So whether you work for us, what's important is that we're bringing people up that know how to build things and fab things and make things and solve problems.
The story at Calumet isn't unique either. Here's what's happening at Airco Electric, located in Hancock.
So at Airco currently we have, it's been very difficult for us to get people to do service and controls work. And it's not just limited to the local area. They call us to go anywhere in the world. We've been to Dubai, Singapore, Thailand, and as well as the west coast of the U.S., the east coast, the Gulf, shipyards, wherever they may be, we send guys. The type of work that we typically do can range anywhere from HVAC controls to there's a lot of controls for winches, anything that requires, which in ships is a lot, but pulling or drives, motors. We integrate, even though we're typically more of a controls company, everything we do is integrated mechanically with something else. And to be able to understand both sides, mechanics and the electrical controls portion of it, helps us drastically. We don't have nowhere near enough people in that business. We turn down quite a bit of work just because we don't have the headcount to take it on.
There are other factors that have created shortages in hiring. Many are socioeconomical. Major population shifts from the baby boom to the much smaller Gen Z and upcoming Alpha will continue to shrink the workforce. The decades-long emphasis on attending college has guided more students into professional settings, like less technical and hands-on workers. Then you mix in rapidly changing technologies and things become even more confusing. Case in point, an auto mechanic basically has to be an electrician and a computer expert just to repair a car. Here's David Nari, automotive technology instructor, on the training and challenges just to be prepared to enter the workforce.
What they do not get in my shop is the actual feel of a day-to-day shop operation. I have over 200 some standards that I have to meet in 2 years. And so they have a minimum of 2 assignments a day. And most of them can't do that. And they have over an hour to get 2 done. In the automotive world, everything is down to a tenth of a minute, 6 minutes. You have to have this step, this step, this step, this step every 6 minutes for your time that you're allotted for the estimate that the customer said this is okay. So that the demand pretty high. You gotta be spot on, and it takes time to develop that. To develop a technician, a good technician, it does take 3 years if you're lucky, almost 5 years to develop a good technician, and then the game is to keep them happy. How can we keep them happy?
As Andy Moyle mentioned at the beginning, the need for the summit was a long time coming and comes at an important time. A collaborative effort to organize between industry and education, it brought the right people to the table to identify solutions faster. Here's Corey Sumas, director of the ISD Career and Technical Education Program.
So the Copper Country ISD, 13 local constituent school districts. There's 9 K through 12 schools. There's 2 K through 8 schools now. There's 3 K6 schools, 3 counties, many communities, countless industries that we're trying to get more and more involved. And industries that we don't even know of. How many people have heard of Pacific Doorware? Joe and I, we just heard about it the other day, and it's quite the business actually. And then so many machine shops out there that we don't know. We don't know the level there. It's incredible the amount of industry that's out there. Jim Radiola is here. He's always said, I'm going to steal one of your things. We're better together. So that's the whole Copper Country ISD. So all of us right here, including the industry that we're going to be with today, we're better together. So who's here today? I said it already. 8 of 9 districts that have a K through 12 school or a high school. The one couldn't make it. So it was going to be 9 of 9. Industry is going to be here. CTE students will be here. ISD is here, of course, but we're all the ISD.
Here's Andy Moyle again.
There's an opportunity for the school counselors, for the administrators, to see these kids that really want to go at least get this education while they can get it in a pretty harmless type environment. It's not as intimidating as graduating at 18 and just showing up on a construction site. If they show up on a construction site after being in Mike's class for 2 years, they have skills, they have their safety down, they have a little bit of confidence, then they're actually going to be willing to show up. And then, I mean, we have kids that are going to school, to Michigan Tech for construction management right now they're working in the field and they're making the decision like, man, my career is already accelerating here just working. I don't know that I really need to be a CM. So we have them go kind of both ways. Like, you can see how that would be attractive. You're like, well, I already got a job. I'm already making good money. What do I need to go to school for 4 years for? But then we have ones that just use this to supplement what their civil degree is going to be or something like that. But the reality is, whether you're going to college for this or just staying in the trades, starting early is what's going to set these kids apart from anybody else.
Career preparation is the key of CTE, making the transition into the workforce easier and faster for students as they leave high school. Matt Rundell is the owner of Smart Creative, a local marketing and creative firm. Also, as a member of the advisory committee, Randell sees the preparation and skills as a crucial piece that CTE offers.
It's more or less, these kids, especially nowadays, that, we've all been hearing it. College may not be for them. There's other opportunities, and especially these young kids now are seeing these influencers, as we call them online, social media, right? The TikToks, Instagram. But even if they want to go down that route, which is fine, in my humble opinion, the graphic design, to her point, she can now have a nice business card, working on a website at the end of it, after 2 years. Just give them that, that leg up to go into that entrepreneurship. Again, tying it all together with the whole trades program, the way I see it is, from this class, they designed a sign, right? But what's that next step? Can we start a social media, following to recruit more kids into these programs? Can they then show off how cool it is? And, basically, someone in the trades could be sparked to go take the entrepreneurship class because they might want to start their own business, to your point. So it can all be intertwined. And, I truly see the importance of that, locally, regionally, to his point. Again, these kids can either go work for a small business, start their own, but either way, if they can come through the CTE programs here, I definitely think it would give them a leg up instead of just, I'm open for business. I'm, just kind of winging it. They got a good, solid base here that they can work from, so.
Mike Randell is the instructor for the construction class at the CTE program. As a former student himself, he can share the value he's seen from CTE classes firsthand.
I guess the one thing I wanted to touch on is we, in the industry, I run a small construction company in the summer. We do not have enough employees. And that is why the industry is here also, is to express that to you also. I graduated in 2003 from Jeffers. Everyone was going to college. So what did I do? I didn't want to go to college. So I was like, I want to work with my hands. I'm going to be a shop teacher. So that's where I'm at today. But all along in the summer months, I worked to get my builder's license, and I found that this has been my passion. I spent some time, I did some history classes, and I was like, I'm not really into the history. So I've been fortunate enough to get into just doing construction and to work with these young students, both men and women coming through. And I have one of my former students coming in today. So we have both, right? I have some that are going straight to industry, they're working in the summers, and they're making successful careers out of it. But we also have students that are going into construction management. So they are doing the college work, but they're coming here to get their experience.
For students that come out of the CTE program, success can look different. For some, like Abby Peters at Calumet High School, her time in the automotive technology program means that she comes away with skills to diagnose her own car issues. Even more important, it helped her figure out what she might not have wanted to do before embarking on years of specialized training.
I'm Abby Peters. I go to Calumet High School. I took the class, same reason as Abby, just to figure out more about how to take care of my own car. And I was thinking a bit about aviation mechanics, but I still don't know what I'm doing with my future at all. So.
Here's Houghton student Regan Moyle. Like Abby, she hasn't decided what her career is going to be like yet, but the skills she comes away with will be invaluable.
I'm in welding and auto, and my future career, what I'm still looking at right now, is big diesel mechanics, and I think this class would be very helpful to use and utilize all the things we learned in here for big diesel, because it's like the same thing, but different at the same time.
And for others, CTE is exactly what they needed to advance all along. This is Sharon Colbert, a former CTE construction student, now a freshman at Michigan Tech studying construction management.
I took Mr. Randell's class my junior and senior year of high school. I was a UPVA student over at Calumet High School, which it basically means I was homeschooled, but I had the same teachers. I just did everything online. I learned about CTE through the Girls' Day. Have you guys had that yet?
Not yet.
Okay. Well, I did the girls' day. My mom got an email, and at first I was actually interested in like the nursing, but she's like, you know what? Try a little something else. So I was like, okay. I tried it, and I really enjoyed it. So I convinced her to let me do it that following semester. And that following summer, I actually got a local job with Hamilton Construction. I really enjoyed it. It's kind of a small company. He worked really closely with the architects and the designers and the owners of the home, and I really, really enjoyed that. Kind of my thing. I like the design aspect of construction. That's why I really enjoyed being here and working on OnShape, the program that we use to design the tiny house.
CTE isn't static. It's constantly evolving, offering diverse pathways to all kinds of fulfilling careers. But the impact goes much further beyond individuals. Skilled professionals like welders, nurses, and electricians, many trained through the CTE programs, are the backbone of our communities. They're about empowerment, opportunity, and building a brighter future for us all. To learn more about CTE programs, including work-based learning opportunities offered through the Copper Country Intermediate School District, visit our website at copperisd.org. That's it for this episode of the Coppercast. If you have information or a story for a future episode, we'd love to share it. Please send an email to dsim@copperisd.org. Until next time, thank you for listening and supporting A Love for Learning.